All right, we're starting. Today on the Troy Show, I have a very special guest, Tyler Jensen. I actually met him at the Pantheon networking group. I'll go ahead and put the link below. But I was really impressed. I was asking Tyler, how much is this per month? He says free. I was like, wow, that's a lot of quality people for a free network. And he, in particular, was in charge of managing some of the groups there. And he's involved in sales. So sales is the lifeblood of almost any business. And he helps fix a lot of the top performance teams to improve them even better. So Tyler, tell me a little bit about yourself other than what I have provided, just so the audience understands what you do, and then we'll get into it.
Awesome. Hey, Troy, first off, thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate that. And ideally, we just help people reach their full potential. Understanding what does it mean to be a top performer. And I created the 4 pillars of top performance. It's the psychology behind what makes a top performer a top performer. How is it duplicated? How is it replicated? What separates, and can it be taught? And I've taken that. I have an extensive career within the service-based industries. I've owned multiple businesses. I've ran an insurance company. I've been a corporate trainer for a large insurance company for several years. And we've taken everything that I've learned and applied it directly into the culture behind it. So it's one area that people don't realize is important. It's how you obtain the clients, retain the clients, manage the employees, and become the leader you're meant to be. All of that affects how an individual views the culture behind your company.
Yeah, you're talking about the 4 pillars. Does this apply to sales in particular, or is that any high performer, or are you creating high performers? I guess that would be a better question.
So with our 4 pillars of top performance, it is how top performers operate. So you can apply those 4 pillars into all aspects of your life. You want to be a top performing husband and father. You want to be a top performing athlete. You want to be a top performing leader, business owner. The 4 pillars is what we kind of discovered throughout all our research is what is that formula. And what we've done is we've taken that and applied it into sales cultures to build the sales culture of an organization.
Okay, so you are focused more so for you in particular in that sales. So what are the biggest issues or biggest obstacles on sales? Because we know that sales is the lifeblood of any business and generating sales. And so I have my own methods, although I am not a salesperson. I'm a systems person, so I build sales systems. I hate selling. I always prefer in creating a buying environment and supporting other individuals. And there's certain things that seem to be easier to convert than others. I'll give you an example. You recently downloaded our application Scoop, and what Scoop does, it allows you to convert to get that vetted book meeting. But our business issue is not the application itself. It's the fact that it's a low cost solution that we have to get volume out. So I'm used to converting larger B2B deals, which seem to be easier because they're relationship based. The other is very volume based because it's low cost. Those are some of the challenges that I have. What are the challenges that other sales organizations have that these 4 pillars help solve?
Yeah. So understanding, of course, when you research something for nearly a decade to discover what is that formula, you find the exact opposite, Troy. And that's exactly
what it doesn't formulate.
What is it doesn't
Don't do that. Don't do this.
It's like Edison, right? I found 2,000 ways not to be a top performer. And it all comes down to really what causes the underperformance in individuals. I realized that, and it's a critical moment, that is complacency. Okay, complacency is the root cause of your outward appearances of underperformance. okay? Where you're busy, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're not hitting your numbers, you're not achieving the recognition you're looking for. You have this internal battle and conflict within your own subconscious. All of that kind of stems into what we consider the 3 complacency models for organizations.
I thought complacent meant that I'm doing good enough.
That as well, okay? And that's actually one of the hardest to spot, the one that you literally just mentioned, I'm doing good enough. We consider that our 3rd complacency model, called the self-made complacent. So it's actually funny that you mentioned that, because it is one of our frameworks. And discovering these issues of the problems that people face is how I actually built the 4 pillars that pulls people out of these issues. Because starting with the first pillar for us is optimism. Right now.
Well, I'm sorry. Before you get any further, can you list the 4 pillars, and then we'll go from
absolutely.
1, 2, and 3.
So optimism, systems, power, and focus are our 4 pillars. And so that's what makes up our formula for it. So really walking individuals through that. The first one is optimism. It's the way that we start. It's the way we begin. This is my nerdiness, Troy. The more people get to know me, the more they know I'm the biggest nerd on the planet. So I study what's called etymology. And for those of you who don't understand that,
you're a nerd.
Study of words.
You're a nerd. Good for you. Nerds are what runs the world. When you see etymology, I said, yeah, okay. Like, I'm a nerd too, but I'm not into etymology.
Yes. So weird quirk of mine. But the Latin word of optimism means best. So its original translation, most people today, they think it means positive, they think it means happy, right? They think it means like, oh, we're always just viewing all the good things.
What's your best self?
The original form is best, right? And so when we take that, we apply that certain type of mindset within all the different aspects of the organization. You mentioned it. Are we becoming the best version of ourselves? Are we providing the best experience for our customer? Are we providing the best products? Are we giving the best experiences for our employees? Are we taking the best course of action? Are we planning the best for the future, right? We're looking at these things as what is the best course of action? And when we take that mindset, we're always in this improvement mindset, okay? And so it's creating this certain style of mindset behind the sales organization to take action that empowers you to live your best life. But when people take action, right, that's that first motivation, is we have to be able to take action and actually do the work. We actually get now sucked into the first complacency model by taking action. And it's what we call complacently busy, where people just take
like a
action.
check-off list.
They
I
are
need
just
to create a list, I'm
chaos.
checking it off, but not realizing if that list is the best way to continue the performance model, right?
Correct. Yep. Where literally they just become so busy, right? They have their checklists, they have appointments, they have phone calls, they have clients, they have people coming in, they have, flyers that they have to put out every day, right? Because they're taking all this action, right? And they're considering themselves as so busy, right? People in this stage will say, I'm just so busy all the time. They'll actually admit it, right? Because it makes them feel better that they're so busy, but they're not being productive. Are they truly using the best use of their time?
So how do you identify that? Because once you're in that trap, you have a bit of tunnel vision because you're only focused on your list and what's ahead of you. And I always believe that you can make a major impact in 90 days on whatever it is you're doing in life. And so when you're, hi.
You woke up from your nap. You okay? I can't show you right now. Daddy's in an appointment. Can you show me in a minute? Okay. You go get it ready.
Mine is 9 and she'll bust in anytime to ask me a question about Legos. So kids are great. So if I have a list and I'm thinking I'm doing well, I try to reevaluate and take time and slow down to reevaluate what's important. But I can see that getting caught in that trap especially if you feel like you're being productive and you're moving towards a certain goal. How do you avoid that trap of the illusion of being successful and you're just doing work and things that aren't as important as maybe something else?
Yeah. So one of the ways we create that overwhelm is our second pillar, which is systems. Okay? Systems pull people out of chaos because it creates this repeatable process. We consider them guidelines, right? That keeps us on the path that we need to be going. They're not rituals, right? They don't have to be the same thing every single time, but they create this safety net, right? And so one of the systems we actually put in place for the companies we work with is a system for their time. And we call it the prioritization funnel. And what we have them do is, first off, we have to be aware of the busy work, right? We have to be aware of what needs to be done, right? What is everything that has to be accomplished within your business? Because it's got to be done at some point. But doing so productively, we kind of put in the funnel. So we actually have them audit their time every 15 minutes for 14 days. They have to audit everything that they're doing. And then that will serve several purposes down the road as they work with us, from creating sales systems to everything else, right?
I'm so sorry. Let me repeat what you said. They audit their time every 15 minutes? Is that what
15 minutes for 14 days.
So in an 8-hour day, they audit themselves 32 times?
So we actually pull it past that, and we have you audit yourself at home as well, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep.
Oh, so this is for awareness.
It is.
Got it.
And so it does twofold. It allows people to become aware. It allows people to also recognize what needs to be accomplished, so then we can create those employee systems or processes or hiring. It also allows them to start seeing patterns of productivity. So then they can start recognizing, when do I get the most client calls? When do I reach out to the most people? When do I get a hold of the most people? When do I typically have appointments, right? When do I typically have the most success in these areas? And as we start seeing patterns, we then can break down the time blocks for their day.
I see. So when you say audit, what does the word audit mean? Does it mean create a mental note, a value structure between 1 and 10? What does that mean when you audit?
Yeah. So the initial audit is we have a Excel spreadsheet with every 15 minutes for 2 weeks on there. And they just type it on their phone what they did for those 15 minutes.
Oh, you're saying what the task was.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So what it was, it could be I scrolled on social media.
Okay. No. I mean, at first, I think it would be a little extreme because it would be a major pattern interrupter and I want you to correct me, okay? Me being a novice, okay? No, I'm not fighting you at all. I'm just being devil's advocate here. Because a lot of technical tasks take several hours on non-interrupted work. Like, for example, I used to get 50 meetings a week, right?
Yep.
And I shouldn't do that because I have work. So I should lower my meetings down to 20 or 25. And so I had to build mechanisms to lessen the number of meetings and increase the quality of those meetings. And so I have to arrange my time in a certain chunk, and then I have to have gaps. And those gaps is the time where I actually do work. Sometimes it takes an hour, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 hours to do that. So you're saying that if I have a particular task, say in the extreme case, say a 3-hour block of time, undisturbed time, I would still audit those 4 times an hour?
So we never say get yourself out of the flow state, right? So if you're working on that
flow
task
state. Got it.
for that, your audit for that 30 to an hour, totally fine. Do it. After you're done, go back and note, hey, from this time to this time, I was these tasks, this is what I was doing. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, now that does make sense.
But the idea behind the audit is just to be very aware and conscientious of those items, okay? And also it teaches you the ability to narrow time blocks. right? So if
To be more efficient,
to be
yeah.
very, very efficient. But then what we do after that is we take into separate portions, right? And we look at those patterns, and we can create time blocking for when things are going to be most effective for your day, right? And then we actually build systems that...
I'm so sorry, I'm going to slow down.
Go for it.
Because of my ignorance. I'm sure the audience is a little quicker than I am. But so you create best times of day to do certain types of work? Is that what you're suggesting? Like there's creative versus technical versus repetitive or just instructional task?
Yep, correct. Because people are going to be more effective throughout their day in different types, right? Clients are going to be more available depending on your industry and during certain times. So it's taking your day and then it's creating a system that everybody follows into your state.
More of a natural, more natural fit.
Correct, right? So I even showed my example of my calendar. My calendar is booked years and years out. And the way I do that is I have certain tasks associated when I'm available, right? I take my client calls, my one-on-one appointments on Monday mornings and Wednesday, right? Those are my times. So when my clients meet with me, those are the options.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course, you have exceptions to the options, but you minimize those exceptions.
I minimize the exceptions, right? My Tuesdays in the morning is networking. In my afternoon is my personal development, and my wife and I have our, councils together as well, right? So I have time for that. My Thursdays, I do all my events and my workshops and my, plans, and I have a flex time on Thursday afternoon. So I can take client calls.
Are the Pantheon meetings happening on Tuesdays?
They happen on Tuesday.
Oh, yep. Okay, good.
Yeah, they do.
I'm correlating. Look at it. See that?
It does. Right? And so, when people just want to meet with me, my calendar that I send them is a system that allows me to stay productive in my time blocking. So if you were to book a 30-minute call with me, you don't have the option for Monday or Wednesday. You have the option for Tuesday during my networking times, Thursday during my flex periods, or Friday during my flex period in the afternoon.
How many meetings do you take a week, by the way?
So typically, look at last week's calendar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
So less than 20 meetings you get done in 2 days. So it's all meeting days.
So it's essentially, so it's packed within those time blocks.
Got it. And then so what if someone wants to meet with you another day, unless it hits a higher priority, that's the choice that they have to meet with.
Correct. Yep. So it creates this safety net, right? Safe systems are guidelines. They allow us to flex there. So if somebody, when I'm meeting with individuals on the other side of the world, I have some clients in South Africa and, in Europe. Yes, am I going to flex that time period for them? Absolutely, right? But it's not the norm.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It creates these systems.
Well, the priority is, for me, are they giving me money?
Right?
Are they a current client? They're paying me money and it's the only time they can meet.
Yeah. And so that goes through our prioritization funnel, right? Which I mentioned originally. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I take all of this information from 14 days and I put it through this funnel. Okay? And so the top of the funnel is we ask ourselves the question, can we get rid of it? Is this something we can literally just get rid of? We don't have to do this anymore.
Per task.
Yeah, per task.
So when you put all these items in a funnel, it prioritizes all these tasks to identify that, like you said, the first thing, do we even need to do it? And the second thing would be when
we systematize it.
Yeah, when would be the most appropriate time to do it? Which is systematizing on the priority based on scheduling, and what are the others?
Yeah, so it goes through there. Can we get rid of it? Can we systematize it? Can we hire it? Can we hire this out to somebody? And then it goes through, and can we focus on it, right? And the focus on it, when those tasks come to you, those are the things that only you can do, right? Those are your priorities. Mm-hmm. But then we always have to ask ourselves the question, do I focus on it now? Or do I focus on it later? If I want to focus on it now, that becomes the sole priority of this item. Right. I just had one of my one-on-one clients. I just got off the call before this. Right. And he was a property manager, and he was like, I had a tenant call me on Friday saying, I want to look at this apartment, and if I like it, I want to move in that day. And he's like, and it didn't fit in my time blocks. And I said, that's all right. Because what it did is you threw it through the funnel, and you decided that that was the most important thing for your business to make money at that time. So it became that number one thing.
Yeah, it allows you to be flexible.
It allows you to be flexible. But we asked ourselves the question, I have these other things time blocked, right? Usually I don't do showings, but does that take precedence? Does that become my number one focus? And if so, that's great. But if not, we say we do it later, right?
It's almost like the term eat the frog first. Have you heard that before?
I have not, no.
All right, so eat the frog first is a term that says when something comes up that's the most important thing you do first.
Okay.
So maybe painful or whatever, but if you can do that most important task at that time or the appropriate time, it becomes a good benefit because you're knocking it out. So a lot of people avoid the important task on the value. And so by eating the frog first, you get it out of the way, which is may or may not work with your system because you may prioritize a different time slot for the most important thing.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
Because we can say, right, oh, does this phone call that I'm getting, does that take over what I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Or can I say, I want to focus on calling that client back at 10:30 today, during my callback time.
And so do you prefer a particular CRM to keep track of those particulars that come up, or how do they manage that?
Yeah, so one of the softwares that I utilize is Keep. It's a CRM platform, and it has all that automation in it. So you can automate all of your time blocks, you can automate your appointments, all the.
But any CRM would do as long as.
A lot of CRMs will do that. Yep.
Yeah, as long as you can put an appointment in there and you actually use it. That's another thing. People have a CRM and 95% of the people don't really use it. So it's not going to do any good unless you force yourself to actually go along with whatever those things are important.
Yep, absolutely.
So I do have a question / suggestion. If they are, before they help prioritize that time, would it, and I know we all have calendars. I mean, I live off my calendar, but would it be a good idea to actually write down your day ahead in 15-minute increments and plan that ahead of time on your daily task sheet or something like that?
So that is beneficial because once you create your time blocked calendar, I can honestly just show you mine, right? I'll just go 2 years out, right? So hopefully I shouldn't have any appointments 2 years from now on the calendar. And if I do, cool.
Mine go out 2 weeks out. That's about it.
Right. So if I were to share my calendar here, okay, so you can see all of my time blocking in here.
Oh, those are time blockings on the subject matter, not the particular.
Yep. So
and then when the particular comes in, you plug it in.
Yep. So communication. So these are all like my callback times, and when I have texts or questions, that's when they get those. Right. My strategy calls with my clients are all on here. Okay. When I take sales calls, when I take networking, when I do my events, and I do my business development. Right. So now what this is doing is it's giving me guidelines to fill my day. Right. So when I have like this idea where it's like, oh, I need to meet with that person. Perfect. I can throw it on here on networking to say, reach out to Troy and schedule an appointment.
Yeah, right? 20.7.
Right. And I can throw it on there, right? Because now all of a sudden I have that in my mind, but now it is time blocked in its appropriate category because I want to focus on then, not focus on
what I was referring to was before this happens, I have a book, and I have to go get it, but it will allow me to hand write notes because the act of handwriting keeps in your memory like 10 times better than typing it. And so when you plan it ahead, I found out that a lot of the wasted energy was in the stop and go.
Yeah.
So you weren't mentally prepared for the task. And if you write them down ahead of time, you have planned your day out in a very efficient manner, regardless of what your calendar says. And so the act of the pen to paper is a big advantage, but maybe I'm getting off subject.
No, you're good. Any system, the idea behind this is creating these guidelines, these safety nets that keep your day productive.
Right.
And it pulls you out of that chaos thinking, oh, everything's a priority today. I have to put out all these fires. No, everything's a priority right now. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a priority, but it can be a priority at 2 o'clock today.
Right.
Yes, it's a priority, but it can be a priority tomorrow morning. Right? And that's where these structures come in, because it's creating these best use of kind of your calendar day.
So you're removing chaos, in other words.
Yep.
Got it. Very interesting. Yeah. So I think that I will continue with my booklet in order to write the categories. But what I'm learning is understanding the value of that is super important. And then planning for that. And so tell us about the other pillars. So was that pillar 1? Correct me if I'm wrong, or
that was part of pillar 1.
Part of pillar 1. Okay.
Is what is the best use of time?
That's the gist of it, though, right?
That's part of it, yeah. Because that falls into the realm of optimism, right? Taking the best use of our time and applying into pillar 2 of a system, right? So that's pillar 2, is creating systems that helps us take our best action.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying, as far as writing stuff down, that could be considered part of the system itself?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay,
yep.
Great.
So
what other systems do salespeople use? Are you talking about physical systems like CRMs and
part of it? So
calendars and
having CRMs, having an actual sales process that gives customer experience throughout the stage of the life cycle. That's a big thing on sales culture, is people don't focus on the experience behind the sale.
Can you briefly give me the 10,000 foot of what you consider the sales experience?
Yeah, let me give you an example. Okay, I have this little button here, and it reminds me. This is when I went to Disneyland. Okay. We went with my sister and her family, and it was for Brooke's birthday. And we're eating lunch, and one of the workers came up to us and said, "What are you celebrating today?" Simple question. What are you celebrating today? And we said, "Oh, it's my niece's birthday. It's Brooke's birthday." And so he said, "Hold on a minute. I have a gift for you." And he came back, and he had "It's my birthday" button for Brooke. And for each of us, he wrote in, "I'm celebrating Brooke's birthday."
Oh, yeah.
And just like that, all of our kids were excited. And further on, every ride we went on, every worker that saw that button wished Brooke a happy birthday.
Right. So you improved the overall experience by putting some thoughtfulness that supported the client, and in this case, you guys.
Correct. Yep. Because the thing about service and experience is service is expected. Experience have to be planned for and invested in. Right? These buttons aren't free for Disney.
Yeah.
Right? They have to invest in that, and they have to plan for that with their employees by saying, "What are you celebrating today?"
Yes, that interaction and that input and that output, that's the added value on top of the current customer experience.
Correct. And so taking a sales process, right, and a sales system that somebody follows, we take that and say, how do we create experiences throughout this sales system to allow for those value propositions, to allow for those peak moments that creates these memorable peaks for individuals, right? You may notice, Troy, that I take the time, invest my time to welcome each person with their name up here.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that last. I didn't say anything. I said in my mind, "Oh, nice touch," you know.
Right. And it's just those simple things that can be personalized and memorized.
So, for example, if we use my Scoop application and I send someone a welcome video after connecting, they may appreciate it because I took the time to welcome them and create an actual video that talks about them. And so that helps not just conversion rates, but them to remember you. And if there are 10 other Troys out there, they're going to remember me versus the other individual because of the interaction. I also have another example is that I took the time to, I'll put it against my shirt because it's black, to create this metal card.
Yeah.
And I created this and I designed it myself for actual in-person networking meetings, because if I give this to them, if you click it, it is a little tink to it. It's really thick and hard, and it has a QR code, and if they scan it in, it comes up with a beautiful page and that sort of thing. But they won't throw this away, and I'll be the most interesting person for about 12 seconds or maybe 20 seconds, and they'll remember me. And so that's one reason I create these cards. Although they're very expensive, I think that the value of that is like, oh, this person's creative. And a lot of times I'll give them the card and I'll just say, hey, can you scan it? And so what I'm doing is trying to get them through the experience of seeing that, oh, this is a great card. Oh, this is what you're doing. And it gets them to talk about what they're doing and kind of lowers I don't want to say lowers their guard, but it gets you more on equal playing fields where they actually want to talk to you versus being bugged by someone. You know, anyway, I don't know. That's thought I'd add my 2 cents to that. But yeah, I totally get the concept. So that is more on pillar 2, the experience.
Pillar 2 is the systems and kind of creating that culture behind all of your systems that help either retain your employees, retain your clients, or create that atmosphere that people want to be a part of your organization. Those are what systems that we're talking about there.
So do you create SOPs for that?
We do, yeah. So part of what we do is we can help create standard operating procedures. We can help create systems for employees that they follow, referral systems, right? Each of those, we have different ways to create those. Got it.
Yep. So let's roll to pillar 3. This is a longer discussion than I thought, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So. Whatever time we have. But yeah, so pillar 3 now is power. And power, we're going to go back to my nerdiness. Okay. A lot of individuals can complete this phrase. Knowledge is...
Yeah, power.
Power, right. Francis Bacon back in the 1500s. In my opinion, it's not accurate today, because if knowledge was power, since AI has access to the most knowledge, wouldn't it be the most powerful thing in the world?
Yeah, but there's a difference between information and knowledge, right?
Yep. And so coming back to that kind of study of words, looking at this, power in its true state is action. Right? It's a transfer of energy.
Okay.
And when you look at the word wisdom, its etymology state is action. And it's knowledge in action.
Oh, knowledge in action. Got it.
And so better phrase is wisdom is power, right? You can learn all of these things, but if you don't apply it, it's just potential power.
Right. So it's the application of the transformation.
Yep.
It's the movement of what you're trying to do.
Correct.
Because everyone, I think, every client or everyone that has a task, what they're more interested in is transformation. That knowledge, that power in action is actually transformation. Got it.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's pillar number 3 is we have to take anything that people would view as like a setback. We have to learn from it and apply it to make us better. We have to take a team, right, this culture, and we have to uncover their power, right? We have to take, what knowledge do you have? What uniqueness do you have? And how can we bring that to the table to apply to something else, right?
How to apply it, how to improve it, and then and when to convey it.
Correct, right? One of the biggest hinders that I see from like sales leaders of organizations behind this cultural aspect is they don't take advantage of the power on their team.
Yeah, well, because a lot of smaller teams, this is probably bad to say, but sometimes it's easier to dictate the outcome if you have a lot more experience. But then what that does is it detracts from the ability to have that uniqueness or that flexibility, which may be an asset to it. So it really depends on the style of the team and the knowledge base.
Yep. And that's why I always say systems are guidelines, right? Because when they become guidelines, there's now room for creativity. And there's room for uniqueness, right? Sales has no longer become scripted.
Yeah.
It becomes unique. It becomes an experience, and taking advantage of that, right? You'll notice with me, I'm a business magician. Right?
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
That's a fun power that I use, right? So when you interact with people, right, you had this creative idea of these cards. When I meet people at a networking group, I say, hey, you guys want to see a magic trick? Can I do a magic trick?
Who's gonna say no to that?
Right?
Actually, when I gave these specialized metal cards to one guy, he was like, I don't want it, and then you get some Debbie Downers, like, so yours is actually much better than mine, because you got like some Grinches out there, like, I don't know, they're just like someone you don't want to talk to. But if you see one of the magic trick, you're like, why not? So they will probably be more open to an action versus an object,
Yeah, right. But it's taking those experiences that you have.
Yeah.
How do we take that and apply it to better ourselves?
Yeah,
right?
it's applying the experience to the relationship. Yeah.
Yep. So it's taking your own uniqueness, uncovering that, creating that, and applying it. And then the last one is focus. Focus.
Pillar 4 is focus.
Pillar 4 is focus. Yep. So the power overcomes our natural complacency, which is kind of like our fear and like, oh, people are going to like all the stuff in our head. We don't need to go into that. The power helps you overcome that, right? When you're owning your own uniqueness and what's good about yourself.
I think Leon, Mr. Musk had an interview, and they said, well, how do you stay motivated in order to get stuff done? And he says, well, motivation for me doesn't come in place. It's, do I have to get it done? Is this something we should get it done or not get done? And that mindset is its own type of motivation, because at the end of the day, you will get it done. And I was always very impressed with that interview with Elon Musk, because he is his own. I mean, I guess he wasn't saying that. He doesn't think that way, but in actuality, he doesn't need motivation outside. He can produce his own motivation because of the need to get it done. And so I think that a lot of people get their highs and they get their lows. And they get highs when they, get a new client or something goes their way. And they go into a low when they have a couple maybe negative dominoes. And in sales, you have to have a really thick skin. And so how do you keep the motivation up or have them self-motivated through the bad times? Maybe that's the question.
Yeah. So that's part of the natural complacency we fall into, is exactly what you described, right? It's that self-doubt, it's that self-sabotage, it's that just feeling like, oh, I'm not worth it, right? I just want to give up. So increasing power, but what gets people over fear and those fear tendencies is focus, right? Because there is no fear when the focus is clear. And so we have to have internal focus, just like how Elon Musk had, right? He has this internal compass, this internal focus that allows him to stay grounded on what needs to be done. And so that fourth pillar is the focus of our lives internally. And there's multiple focuses we can look at. We can look at company focus, right? That's strategic planning, that's the goal setting. We can look at leadership, right? How can supportive leadership help our focus? But then we can also look at our internal values and our internal focus as well. And for sales leaders, once we understand internal focus, then can we better motivate.
I see. So there is a procedure to help you develop your internal focus on that fourth pillar.
Yep.
Awesome. Last question for you. Well, no, there's two other questions, but one of the last questions is that do you think everyone's cut out to be successful, in all honesty? Because I think there is a general complacency on how people view life. And in order for them to be successful, they have to have a certain type of drive, I would think, in order to apply these four pillars to be successful. For example, I don't take all clients on. I take a maximum of 2 clients a month for my systems. I build multi-channel systems to drive clients. But if I have an inkling that you're not going to make the meeting, or you're not going to provide value, what they perceive as value, I would rather work with someone else. Because even though I have systems in place, they won't convert unless there's execution on the client side that's appropriate. So what would you say to that? Do you think that everyone could improve on it, or there's a certain mindset and certain type of people that tend to be more successful than others?
So, in my opinion, anybody can be successful. But it has to start with a choice. Okay? Because one of the biggest things is, do people become a victim of their circumstance or a victor of their opportunity?
Okay. So it's a really of a mindset and commitment perspective.
Correct.
So if I had a difficult time converting, closing clients because all these clients all these prospects are not very up forth in being honest, well, perhaps I'm targeting the wrong client. And so by identifying that, I get out of the victim stage and into the opportunity of dealing with people that have identified attributes that are more likely to succeed. I'm kind of cowboying this right now.
No, you're good.
So
I mean, for me, I'm very religious, right? So I look at Christ as an example of this scenario, right? I look at, the story when he was walking through the crowd of people and the woman reached out with the issue of blood to touch the hem of his garment, right? And ended up being healed. Because there's so many people that have that same issue. People were injured and, leprosy, whatever it was. And they chose to be a victim of their circumstance. Where this lady, what made her different was she was in that state, right? Poverty and begging, issue of blood for 12 years. She was in this state, but she chose to take action to say, this is my way to become a victor. But she had to take that action and that faith to say, I'm going to reach out to the Savior and grab the hem.
Right.
And that's what made that difference.
I believe something good will come out of this. I have this belief that there's an opportunity, and I should take that opportunity to be successful in that particular thing. Yep. Well, I'm more of a realist, where I know that there's a percentage of people that won't do that, but I understand a positive view that they have to take that step forward, and if they believe they can do it, anyone can be improved upon the processes. And then certain people, of course, will do better than others, but there are different advantages other people have. It could be their network, it could be their mental fallacies, some could be tuned in, it could be their knowledge base and all that. but even where you're at, there's always room for improvement as long as you move forward towards those steps. Got it.
It is. Yep.
Awesome.
So everybody has opportunities, right? It's because if you become that victor, right? Well, a business partner of mine in another business I run, he should have never been successful, quote unquote, by standards. He was in 14 foster families, right? Growing up as a kid, he was, on the streets most of his life. And, by the time he was in his 20s, he was a silver medalist in the Olympics.
Right.
Now, he ran 15 successful tech companies.
Yeah.
Right? But the circumstance of his life didn't change.
Yeah,
right?
but he chose to be
choice.
tested by fire and to be forged. Yeah, honestly, that's what it sounds like. And I'll say this for the audience: if you do have a plan and you're doing any incremental changes or to improve your business or your life, I always prefer to do a 90-day intervals, because at 90 days you can make a major impact, but it's short enough. It's long enough to do a major impact, but it's short enough where the goalposts don't move as often. Because if you have a 5-year plan, like in 6 months, the plan could be different, and you move the goalposts quite significantly. We're running out of time here, but Tyler, I want to ask you one final question. How can others get in contact with you to talk more about your 4 pillars? I'm so sorry. It was 4 pillars of
top performance.
Of top performance. I was saying of success. 4 pillars of top performance, and if they want to get to know you, how can they reach out to you? What's the
best way is the website, thetopperformancegroup.com, and there you have all my links right there.
Thank you very much, Tyler. I appreciate it. And for everyone else, have an awesome day.
Thanks, Troy.